All right, welcome to my channel. I've always wanted to start a cooking channel, so I figured I would start off with my sweet potato pie recipe. It's not too hard to make. There's a lot of steps involved, but if you go through this video, you'll be able to make it as easy as I did here. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So first we'll start off by boiling 4 pounds of sweet potatoes. So I'll start the pan boiling. Now we'll drop our sweet potatoes in. You want to make sure that you fill the pan up. Halfway through cooking, go ahead and add more water. It should take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Make sure it's fork soft whenever you poke through the potatoes. So here's the list of ingredients. It'll be in the description, but here's all the ingredients you'll need for the pie filling. So once you have the sweet potatoes done, go ahead and take them out. And again, make sure you test them with a fork to see if they're soft inside before removing them. And then cut the ends off of each sweet potato. It makes it a lot easier. And it gets a lot of the strings that are at the end of the sweet potato. And we'll go ahead and put that into our mixer, and we'll do that for all of our sweet potatoes. Okay, now I have my butter that's softened, and I'll put that in, and I'll put all the other ingredients in, starting with the eggs. So I'm not gonna go through putting all the ingredients in. Again, they're all in the description. Just put them in exactly as they are in there. All right, so you wanna mix this good. Turn it up a little, don't turn it too high because you will end up splashing all over your walls. Okay, once it's mixed pretty good, go ahead and pull down some of the strings, and if you have more chunks, you want to get them blended. So just pull it down and continue mixing. All right, once it starts to get pretty smooth, you go ahead and remove the beater. So all that you don't want in your pie, those are the strings. So what we'll do is remove that, and then rinse off the strings in the sink. And then continue mixing. You might have to do this a few times so that you end up getting all the strings off of your beater, and it ends up looking like this in the end. So that's it for your filling. Now you're ready to make your pie crust. So for cream cheese, the one with the cream cheese topping and traditional, I'll put it to 320 or 350. If I'm doing a walnut topping, I'll do it at 425. So here's the ingredients for the pie filling. So I'll take 1/2 cup of oil, and in the same cup, I'll put in 2 tablespoons of milk. And then just mix that up real good. Okay, in a separate bowl, I'll add my flour. It's 1.5 cups. Only scooped out 1/2 cup in the video, but I did put 1.5 cups in there. And then you'll put in your sugar. And then your salt. So now just whisk around your dry ingredients. Now to the dry ingredients, I add the wet ingredients. And we'll just keep mixing it around until a dough starts to form. It's not going to be like your traditional dough. This one will be a little more on the wet side, and that's good because we're going to press it into the pan. Right here, I'm just pressing up the sides. I've already put a little bit in the middle. So you're just gonna form a pie crust. If you have too much, just go ahead and dump it back in your bowl. And just so that you don't make it too thick of a crust. And just keep pressing it around the sides and the bottom until you get a nice looking pie crust. Now for the one with the walnut topping, don't worry about prettying it up because you're gonna have a topping on it. But if you're doing like a traditional crust or the cream cheese, you can press up the sides like I'm doing here. And then put fork marks at the end. There you go, to make it look good. Okay, I'll scoop in the filling. So you want to make it to where it's about a ½ inch or probably less, about a ¼ inch up to the top of the pie crust. It takes about 3 cups to do this, depending on your pie pan. If you're doing a traditional crust, go ahead and sprinkle a little nutmeg on top. But I'm doing in this right here, I'm doing the one with the walnut topping, so I have it set for 425 degrees. That way the top will get a little hard so that the topping doesn't drip down into the pie. And I'll set that for 15 minutes. Now I'm making the topping. I put my brown sugar, cinnamon, some flour, and chilled butter. So here's where a pastry cutter comes into play, but I couldn't find mine, so you can just use 2 knives and cut in all the butter into the other ingredients. And then add your walnut topping. And then just mix that around. So that's it for your topping. So now we're going to bake it. We'll take the pie out. And now we'll set it to 350. And this is what you're going to bake your traditional and cream cheese pie also. So if you're making both, now you can get ready to put you can make your other pie also and get ready to put that in. So here I'll go ahead and cover the ends of the pie crust with foil. Hold it down with some toothpicks, that way the crust doesn't burn, and then sprinkle my brown sugar mixture on top. So here I'm putting in one of the traditional pies and the cream cheese pie, and I'll let that cook. And halfway through, I'll put some foil on the regular pie also. And the cook times are at the bottom. So here's where we're going to test it. Just use a toothpick or a butter knife and test for done. You'll know it's done when you don't have anything on the toothpick. So that's it for a traditional pie and the walnut topping pie. But now we want to spice it up a little and add some cream cheese topping to the traditional pie. So there I put in my cream cheese, some vanilla, some pure lemon extract, and then here's the powdered sugar. And lastly, we'll put in some milk. I will just mix that up until it's smooth. If you need to add a little milk, go ahead and put that in. I added another tablespoon, and that got it to the consistency that I wanted it to be at. Okay, so for this pie, I'm going to make half of it traditional and half of it cream cheese, just to show you what I'm doing. I'm going ahead and putting foil on half of it so that I don't get the cream cheese on half of it. You don't have to do all that, but I just wanted to do it for the looks of it, and spread the cream cheese on half of it. And I went ahead and pulled it off and gave me a pretty good looking line down the middle of my pie. So that's it for the pies that I'm making today. I'll be making more pies and more desserts and food in the future. I just wanted to get this out there. Hopefully somebody can make it before Christmas and tell me what they think about it. And that's it. So if you really want to spice up your pie, what you can do is add some of that cream cheese topping to the one with the walnut topping, and make sure you're ready to take a nap afterwards, because this might put you to sleep. Okay, that's it for my first video. And again, this is a sweet potato pie, one with cream cheese icing and one with the walnut topping. And subscribe to my video. I'm going to try to post as many as I can, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.